Hello everyone, I am VC from VC's Academy. Welcome to my new session. In today's class, we will discuss about diploblastic and triploblastic organization, coelom. So before going into the class, if you are visiting my channel for the first time, please subscribe and press the bell icon so that you will get all my videos as notification. So let's see one by one. Diploblastic and triploblastic organization. Before going to the deep of the diploblastic and triploblastic organization, we will see about what germ cells are. Germ layers are group of cells behaving as a unit during early embryonic stages. So what are germ layers? Germ layers are group of cells which are behaving as a single unit during early stages of embryonic development. At the time of embryonic development, the cells which behave as units or which plays a major role are germ layers. It differentiates to give rise to all the tissues and organs of the fully formed individuals. So what is the importance of germ layers? It differentiates and give rise to all the tissues or organs of the fully formed individual. Whatever the organ we take, all are arranged or resultant of germ layers. On the basis of germ layers, animals are classified as follows. So depending on the germ layers, animals are classified into diploblastic and triploblastic. First we will discuss about diploblastic. You can see the image here. Animals in which the cells are arranged into two embryonic layers are considered as diploblastic animals. So what are the two embryonic layers? An external ectoderm and an internal endoderm. In addition to these two, ectoderm and endoderm, there is an undifferentiated layer called mesoglia. Example, coelenterate. So coming to diploblastic animals. So which animals are categorized as diploblastic animals? The animals in which the cells are arranged in two embryonic layers, an external ectoderm and an internal endoderm, are called as diploblastic animals. And in addition to the ectoderm and endoderm, there is an undifferentiated layer which is present in between the ectoderm and endoderm called mesoglia. Example for this is coelentrates. Triploblastic animals. So I gave the same image for diploblastic and triploblastic, which we can differentiate in as A and B. The animals in which the developing embryo has a third germinal layer called mesoderm in between the ectoderm and endoderm are called triploblastic animals. So in diploblastic, if you observe, instead of mesoderm, mesoglia is present. Example, all animals from phylum Platyhelminthes to phylum Chordata all come under triploblastic animals. And next we have coelom. What is coelom? The body cavity which is present between the body wall and gut wall and is lined by mesoderm is called coelom. The body cavity lined by mesoderm is called as coelom. The presence or absence of coelom is very important in classification. So coelom plays a major role in classification. The presence or absence of it makes a major difference in classifying animals. On the basis of coelom, animals are classified into three different groups. They are, first one is acoelomates. So we will see about acoelomates. We can see the sectional view of acoelomate, pseudocoelomate and eucoelomates. So that are the three classifications which we have in coelom. Image A shows acoelom, image B shows pseudocoelom and C eucoelomates. So coming to acoelomates, the animals in which the body cavity is absent are called acoelomates. So the animals in which the body cavity is absent, they are called as acoelomates. Example, Porifera, Platyhelminthes, coelentrates, ctenophores and flatworms. Coming to pseudocoeloms. In some animals, the body cavity is not lined by mesoderm. Instead, the mesoderm is present as scattered pouches in between the ectoderm and endoderm. Such a body cavity is called pseudocoelom and the animals possessing them are called pseudocoelomates. Example, Aschelminth. So, the animals in which the body cavity is not lined by mesoderm, instead the mesoderm is present as scattered pouches in between the ectoderm and endoderm are called as pseudocoelomates. Example, Ascohelminthes. Third one we have coelomates. The animals having true coelom are called coelomates or eucoelomates. A true coelom arises within the mesoderm and is therefore lined by the mesodermal tissues. So from where a true coelom arises? A true coelom arises within the mesoderm and is therefore lined by mesodermal tissues. That is, externally by parietal peritoneum and internally by visceral peritoneum. A true coelom is covered externally by parietal peritoneum and internally by visceral peritoneum. So that is about classification and about coelom. In my next classes we will see the further topics which are related to animal kingdom. Hope you all are understanding my concepts which are helpful for you, and if you have any doubts, comment us so that we will get back to you and we will clarify the doubts and we will have a session for it. If you like our videos, please share with your friends, like and comment us. Thank you.